Roads are getting a little bit bumpy. You may love the idea of hundreds of different buttons in your car, but federal regulators could put the kibosh on your dashboard computer. It's a reasonable discussion. Do we have too many distractions behind the wheel? But without all those options, some fear it would lead to drivers turning back to their cell phones. Not to mention what kind of impact it might have on the auto industry. Lauren Fix is an industry expert and the car coach. She joins us now. Welcome back to the show. Seems like a good idea.
Thank you.
Limit the distractions. What's wrong with that?
Well, the problem is you can put a spin on any of these studies you want. There was a recent study that said that 12% of people had accidents that were fatal due to cell phones, while 62% of accidents were based on daydreaming. So I can't stop you from daydreaming, although I think LaHood would like to do that to us. He seems to have this thing about really controlling every single thing that we have in our cars, and it's fine to a point, but then there's a point where it's too much government intervention, and I always say stupid is what stupid does. If you're going to be distracted that much and try to shave and have a cup of coffee and be on a cell phone, well, then you're not going to be driving on the road, and you should get a driver.
I hear what you're saying. At the same time, when I hear about a new car that has 159 new buttons, I just wonder when you're supposed to have the opportunity to push all those buttons. I don't really sit by the side of the road and do it, so inherently you're probably doing a lot of it while you're in the forward motion.
Well, what you need to know is that millions of dollars have been invested in manufacturing for companies that started like OnStar, one of the first ones to hit the market. You press a button, you want turn-by-turn directions, a person actually answers who's trained, and they'll actually download the information right to your vehicle. Or you've got companies like Uconnect, which is Chrysler, which just won an AOL Technology of the Year award. You've got Audi Connect. Every single manufacturer. Ford has Sync. Cadillac's got Q. Kia's got Uvo. Every single manufacturer has hands-free. You press a button on your steering wheel, you tell it what you want. I need destination. What's the address? It'll do it. The thing is, those all work as long as you connect your phone. That's why Bluetooth was invented. If you use Bluetooth, it actually works. The key is that it's up to you how you bring those distractions back to the road, because your hands are supposed to be on the wheel and your eyes on the road. However, you can't stop your kids talking in the back seat or fighting, which mine used to do. You can't, if you got a cup of coffee, what are you going to start regulating? You can't put your kids in the trunk. You can't put the passengers with you to tell them they can't talk. And you can't regulate a cell phone in the car. There is a point where technology is something that you have to control yourself.
I hear you. I wonder from a liability perspective, these things are just guidelines. So if a manufacturer doesn't follow the guideline and then something happens along those lines, are they creating this potential lawsuit or class action lawsuit down the road? LaHood told you should have done this with your new vehicle. You didn't do it. Now we're all going to sue you.
Well, that is very typical of lawyers. You go after, if there's an accident, you go after the GPS manufacturer, the company that developed it, the car manufacturer, rather than, the whole problem is that no one wants to say, I made a mistake, I caused the accident. No one does that anymore these days.
No, because you get sued. Why would you ever? That would be stupid. Why would you ever say that?
Right.
What kind
That's true. You wouldn't.
Yeah. What kind of impact does all this have on car sales? I mean, are the buttons and the gadgets, is that really what people are after, or is it about the exterior look and the way it drives?
Well, I'll tell you what, one of the big things that's selling, and you can go to any auto show, and I've just been to all the major auto shows, it's technology and the interface of bringing your car into with your phone together, whether it's when you're on the road, no matter what you're doing. This is where people live in their vehicles. They sit in rush hour traffic. They want to be able to communicate with other people. They don't want to have the limitations of you can't use your phone in the car. If they somehow block that signal, that means that the kids in the back seat, they're no longer playing games. And the other way around, if the phones don't function while they're moving, then you've got other issues too. And you got traffic is based on that. I mean, think of all the signals that are being brought into your vehicle. Traffic congestion. Where the gas prices are. All that information comes in via cell signal. So there's got to be a point where you have to decide, we want the technology, you just got to use it.
Lauren, thank you so much. I don't know what parents did before there were distractions in the car and the kids just beat each other in the back seat. That's what happened. Lauren, thanks for coming on.
The side of the road.
Who knows? All right. So